Okay, so um, do I get a microphone? Yes, sorry. All right. um, all right. So good morning once again. This morning when I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't know why it was three. Usually they say when the spirit world is telling you something, you wake up at a certain time, and it's 3 a.m. And I woke up at 3:12, so I was like, oh, it's not quite 3 a.m. Maybe it's just the jet lag. Uh, it's an interesting morning, and I haven't slept since then. And my voice disappeared. My voice disappeared on the way to this church this morning. And I don't know about you, 90% of the problems that we face today is coming from our ancestors' sins. I said that to you. So I naturally think, oh, what's going on? What's the spirit world telling me now? Uh, the spirit world telling me is, take care of your body a little bit better. That's one thing. So I was thinking and reflecting, and now my voice is back as I'm deciding what to say this morning. I want to talk about Jeongsong. Now, Jeongsong, this is something very it's common. It's something that we all do every single day, or we ought to do every single day. And Jeongsong, when you look back on your life, I'm sure it's the same with everybody else, but our life is all about Jeongsong. When we're growing up as children, especially, our parents offered so much Jeongsong for us, the children, when we're raising up. And because of our parents' Jeongsong, that I know it still continues today. I am still walking this path that I'm walking right now. And now I'm at the age where it's my turn to offer Jeongsong, not for myself, but also my children. And I wanted to reflect that with you this morning with the given 20 minutes. I'm so glad Pastor gave me only 20 minutes. If she said 40 minutes, I'll be like panicking a little bit. you know. So if I can't finish in time, then no worries, no worries. Last time when I was here, I shared my personal life, my testimony of being guided and really deciding to really make this movement, make this religion, make this family my own part of my family. Through the journey of my aunties and my mother who offered desperate Jeongsong so that I will change, that I will meet God for myself as well. And I was able to do so back when I was 21, 22 years old. And I started my journey in Cheongpyeong Training Center. And I look back right now, I think this Cheongpyeong Training Center is truly the only place that is possible for me to really grow as a person. I've been moving around too much, if you still remember. Some of you don't remember, so I'll briefly go through it. I was born in 1984 in South Africa because my grandparents were living there, but they're all British. I'm born British. Then later on, I got my Japanese passport when I was 3 years old in Indonesia. I lived in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, France, Mozambique, Scotland, and now Japan, America, Wyoming, Casper, and Houston, as well as Australia, Perth, and now Korea, South Korea. And I haven't lived more than 2-3 years in South Africa, my birth country. I've never lived I only lived 4 years in Japan. I lived in Australia 8 years, and now Korea is almost 15, 16 years. So I always wish to God, I want a home country. I want a place I can stay forever. Never knew it was gonna be Korea, but I guess it's God's guidance, right? I'm not a second generation. I'm a Jacob's child, and my father is an atheist. um, he- he's not even an atheist, I think. Atheist is people who say, I don't believe in God, right? He doesn't waste his time. He doesn't even say that. He doesn't care. So atheist makes it more simple to answer who he is, but he's just an ordinary person living his life without any Christian background, nothing. No Christian. My grandparents were not devoted Christians. You know, they lived a normal life too. What is a normal life in Britain? I do not know, but it wasn't Christian. And this is how I was raised. My mother, as I already said, tried to raise me as a church member, occasionally sending me to workshops. So I did understand who true parents were, but I didn't really um, see it as my own religion. Mhm. It was my mother's religion. Uh, Fortunately, I had a lot of cousins in the movement. Some of them have left the church, but still within the family realm. And some are still in the church as well. I have one cousin who's a little bit older than me, and he is also very deep in church work. So it's really good, you know, when a family member is also in a public position. You can talk to him. It's not really positive talking, but still, you know, there's someone to vent and talk about the hardships of life, right? And I went to Korea seeking God. I went to Korea to seek love, and I think I found it. And that was the beginning of my life of faith, in a sense, because I never really followed. I followed my mother's words. It was good because she's feeding me, but I never really felt that Unification Church or the blessing was as important as my mother had always told me. My parents divorced when I was 22, 23 years old. This is when I was in Cheongpyeong. But their relationship was very rocky since when I was 17 and 18. I knew something was up. And I think because of that hardship I went through, I really started to seek God. I didn't seek truth. Whatever my mom was the truth. Whatever my mom said was the truth. So that was good enough for me. But yeah, I think that situation, as I said before, has really taught me made me want to learn and seek God. And it was so vague at the time. When I look back, I wasn't really going for like, I want to know you, God. You know, nothing like that. I was just I was so in despair, so lonely, so alone. So I felt something needs to. I need something, and it happened to be this movement, this Unification Church. If I was going to a Sunday service every single weekend, I am not so strong like some of our second gens, hyungs, or younger brothers and sisters who are here every week. Probably not be at the church. I was living by myself in Australia at the time. I was surrounded. My environment was just drugs and alcohol and party and all that. So I removed myself from that environment. I mean, leaving university. Fortunately, I graduated university later on in my life, but I quit university. I quit everything I had. I sold everything I had, and I went to South Korea with that determination that I need to change my life. And I knew that I couldn't change my life by myself, but I really tried to change my life with God. I wanted to go to STF. Not America, sorry. I heard a lot of things in America, STF, and a lot of American second gens were telling me, don't do STF in America. So my elder hyungs were telling me, don't do STF in America, go to Europe. So I thought, okay, Europe sounds good. So I was ready to go, but as I already said, I was picked up by Demonim to work at the Cheongpyeong Training Center. And I continued my work there. I never saw me as a staff of the training center. They don't pay you as good, right? And for me, that was a bit of a struggle for a long time. Well, it is a very big struggle for me for a long time, even today. But I've come to terms with it because I'm not there. I when I start thinking that I'm working, right, working, then it doesn't feel so worth it. But because I'm doing it as a volunteer, that's my mindset that I have. That public work for me is volunteer. And I know throughout the years of staying at Cheongpyeong, um, I am saving up so much spiritual fortune uh, that is going to go to my children, that is going to go to my family. I don't see it as a sacrifice. I don't see it as a sacrifice. A lot of people say you're sacrificing a lot. Maybe it does seem like it's a sacrifice, but for me, it's volunteer. For me, it's Jeongsong. And I really feel that this is important. I learned Jeongsong from Demonim when I was working at the training center. Mrs. Hyunam Kim and Demonim were united until 2014, as I already explained yesterday. And she was the one who really showed me the meaning of Jeongsong. I always thought Jeongsong were just conditions. Do this condition, do that condition. But I really learned in the training center that Jeongsong is not conditions, but it's the everyday lifestyle. And this is really hard. A lot of people say that, Richie, you're working at Cheongpyeong for more like 15 years now. You must be a saint. But this was really hard. If I was in STF Europe, I probably will be a great person too, but I wouldn't have controlled my life. At the training center in Cheongpyeong, no one controls you. Every staff is on by themselves. Demonim never forced us to do anything. She didn't pay us, but she never forced us to do anything. So for 1 year or so, I found myself doing nothing and just working. And I felt this is like same as going out. That this is just like same as, that's why I'm always complaining. So I started to do Jeongsong. I started to do Hoondeok. I never really loved it, but I knew it was very important for me. And then quickly I was recruited as a translator. And I gave up on Hoondeok. Why? Because every single day I was translating from Korean to English True Parents' life course. Every single day I was translating Divine Principle from Korean to English, Japanese to English. And every single day I was translating Demonim's words every single weekend. So that became my Hoondeok, translation. So I'm really grateful for the 15 years of translation. I started doing translating there. They said, "You speak English?" And I said, "Yes." Now you're the translator. So 2005 and 6 and 7 were the worst years of Cheongpyeong translation because I was doing it. No training, just because I spoke English. They threw me in this booth, and all the elders came to me and says, "Why are you doing this? You suck," and really hurt my feelings. But I understand. And so I did my best, and I did my best to be a volunteer. Demonim offered so much devotion throughout the time that I was there. And I could see her really exhausted every day, offering bowing conditions and really praying for others. And this is something that I tried to learn as well. I did a bowing condition, a crazy bowing condition in preparation for my blessing. And that was so crazy that to this day, I don't want to do bowing anymore. So, but I did it. I did it for a year. And even when I was sick. And then when I did that Jeongsong, my devotion, I thought that I'll be receiving all the grace from God. And of course I didn't. I didn't receive it for at least 6 months. And the moment I gave up, gave up on I deserve this blessing because I offered that Jongsong. And when I said, you know what, maybe it's not my time, maybe I was a little bit selfish. And then the next day I was matched, and then I got blessed that year. So I really felt that, oh, Jongsong is really something that's very special. Jongsong, if you're a Japanese, if you read Chinese character, it's quite simple right here, Jongsong, right? I'm sure you already know this, my elders. You already know Korean really well, right? So Jong and Song, or Jong Song, right? In these Chinese character. When you look at the Chinese character, I was fortunate enough to study Japanese, so I know my Chinese characters. I can read a Japanese newspaper without any problems. If you're Japanese, you should be able to do it. But anyways, I only lived in Japan 4 years, so I'm pretty good at that. Jong Song. Okay, I'm sure you know this Chinese character, Song. Hmm? This is a true father really loves this Chinese character, right? I'm sure you do know this. If you don't know, well, this is it. This is Song. And for the Japanese, this is word, mouth, saying, and this is achievement or fulfillment. So Jong, well, this is Song. Jong is offering. And here it says essence, purity, and excellence, and precious, precision. So Song, Jong, is more like, it's more like purity, but also has a feeling of precision. It's an excellence. It has a standard, right? It's an excellent standard kind of meaning when you read this. And then Song is not just sincerity, but truth, but also faithfulness. Having faith that everything that you say, that you do, is going to be achieved. When I look at these Chinese characters, Jong Song, because my Korean is not so good, and when I look at this and that, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't mean anything. It just looks like syllables. But when I look at the Chinese characters, I can really see what this means, what it really feels like. For me, Jongsong is a lifestyle. Jongsong is not about just conditions, but this is, it's not just a vow, it's not just a condition to do, but it's a lifestyle of Jongsong. And when I realized that this Jongsong is so important, not just by looking at Demonim's lifestyle, but my elders, my mothers, and my aunties, of course, to this day, they still do night vigils, not just the Korean night vigils, but they do their own night vigils. And I'm like, how are you alive? But their motivation is love for their children, and for true parents. And this is something that I also realized throughout my life at Cheonpyeong Training Center. Jongsong is an important aspect of our life, and I really feel that this is something that's missing in our youth today. I wasn't able to learn Jongsong from others, but I came to realize how Jongsong, sincere devotion, have saved my life, but also my children as well. Working at the Cheonpyeong Training Center I see as a volunteer. I don't see me as a staff, and I see everything as Jongsong. Working from 7 to 10, 11, 12 p.m. at night, I see it as Jongsong as well. And I see myself growing as a person, and I see my family changing as well. Why is this Jongsong so important? As I already said, it really connects us to our Heavenly Father and Mother. The more Jongsong that we offer, the more clear things become. As I'm growing up, I was having a conversation just now with a member right now, and I was reflecting myself. When I got blessed, I was so excited to be with a woman that God said, it's okay. And then started a family and figured out how to raise a child. My first child, pampered. My first child was taken care of really well. but I don't know if you experienced it. My first child, even though it was a boy, um, I was very careful when I remember, bathing my child in a really special hot tub, and making sure that the water doesn't go on his face. Just figuring out the moment he coughs, I'm rushing to the hospital. All these things. And every time he has a fever, it breaks my heart, and I offered so much devotion. My son was born with a hole in his heart, but I didn't know this was quite common. And it broke my heart. On the 5th day that he was born, the doctor was like, you should go to a bigger hospital. And I was thinking, for one moment, I was thinking, I've offered so much devotion until up this moment. I've been in Cheongpyeong all my life and sacrificed everything. And now you're saying my son has a hole in his heart. And I'm thinking, well, oh my gosh. But then at the same time, I was grateful that it's just a hole. It's just a small hole in my son's heart. And that day I remember the doctor said, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I was 27 years old. I had no idea what it means to have a hole in your heart. And we didn't have, my smartphone was not that smart back then. So I didn't know how to look it up. I had to go to the library, talk to doctors and asking things. But then I realized that Jeongsong. And then since then I've been offering Jeongsong for my children. My son is 13. He's doing so well right now. But Jeongsong is a way of lifestyle. It really connects to our Heavenly Parent. And I really feel that when I am living my life with my family. And I really appreciate as I'm raising my children, and then I had 4 more after that. Very busy, very busy. It doesn't matter if you're church or out of the church. I mean, working for the church or not working for the church. Raising a family, 1, 2, it was already hard. 3 became even worse. 4 and 5 was like, oh my gosh, how does these elders did it? They were saying, oh, we have 7 children, 8 children. I'm like, nah, it's not going to happen for me, right? But it's all about Jeongsong. But of course, raising a family for those younger, my age generations, you kind of get busy, right? You kind of get busy, forget about church. My son is sick right now. I'm not going to go to church today. And I found myself doing that quite often. Fortunately, I was still working for the movement. But at the time when I was raising my children, I wasn't offering Jeongsong. But then after a while, things didn't go well. I was fighting with my wife a lot more. And then I realized one thing, that I was reflecting and thinking, what's missing in my life? And I realized it was Jeongsong. It wasn't, I don't really like to do conditions. Of course, when I'm talking to younger generations coming to me, what kind of conditions should I offer? I give the textbook answer. But for my personal situation, I like to offer devotion in a long period. And so I started to offer morning hundokes and also evening hundokes, and also meaningful bows, not crazy amount of bows, but meaningful, like 10 bows kind of thing. But each bow, I will offer a bow like as if it's the end, it's gonna change the world kind of bow, and offer that kind of devotion for my child, for my family, and for my relationship. And this is also something that I learned from my elders, hearing their testimonies about Jeongsong. And of course, when I read True Parents' and also translate for True Father, True Mother's life course, it's so evident that Jeongsong is what they've been offering. Not conditions, but Jeongsong. And this is something that I really understood. So now that I'm here at this age, and I'm more settled now with my family, I have more space to think about my parents, my relationship with my father and my mother, a relationship with my in-laws. Not an easy thing, but still have to work on that too. and my brothers and my sisters. And when I'm trying to reach out, and when I'm trying to talk to them on myself, by myself, I can't do anything. Of course, I'm mobilizing the spirit world, and that's Jongsong as well, right? So everything that we do in our life, it's Jongsong, and without Jongsong, we can't do so much. And after Mother revealing Heavenly Mother, which made so much more sense to me, uh, you know, in Korea, what I've learned is there's so many things that I just don't understand what's going on. Even when I'm given the proper translation of what's going on, I still don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I just leave it, I just leave it so that the day comes when I understand it. So when Mother says there's Heavenly Mother, I was like, God, wow, finally, finally that makes more sense now, right? I always felt a little bit iffy. Why are we just saying Heavenly Father? And even at prayers, we were only saying Abaji. And I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable with this because I don't have a Christian background. For me, it has always been true Father and true Mother. But it was a little bit uncomfortable for me for a long time that we were only saying true Father and Heavenly Father. So it was really good for me to, when Mother said, there is an Heavenly Mother, and I was like, oh, all right, And then my Jongsong became more different. My devotion became more different. And I wanted to connect with our Heavenly Parent more. I wanted to understand True Mother's heart more. And I could now testify that the Jongsong does change our lives, right? And now my mission is, how am I going to connect this to our younger generations? So I reflect on myself growing up. I did a lot of bowing conditions, but it became so difficult. And even for the spirituality 40 days, I would say to them, don't just do bowing conditions. I mean, even True Mother said we have already escaped that wilderness era. We are in the Chonaguk era. We should not be hitting our body. Of course, it's a good experience. Even though it was said, I think 3 years ago, when I was praying and I wanted to really bring my brother back to the church. My brother also, when my parents divorced, he was going through so much hardship. And I wanted to do something. He didn't want to talk to me because I was a church member to his eyes. And I was like, I'm pretty cool for a church member. But he didn't believe me. And I was thinking, I was praying at Cheonsuan, said, God, what should I do? And God told me to do a 21-day fasting. And I said, nah. So I ignored that one. So for 3 months, I was praying every day, God, what should I do? And God was just saying, I told you, 21-day fasting. I was like, come on, more realistic, come on, right? Realistically, come on. But for 3 months, I prayed, and that was the only answer I got. So, and I even said to God, I thought we finished with the indemnity conditions. We finished this wilderness course. And then God said, but you want your brother to come back, right? And I'm like, yeah. And so I did a 21-day fast. Well, where is it right now, right? But it was 3 years ago, so I gained it back. But I did a 21-day fast. And did my brother come back? Nope. But where is he now? He's a little bit closer. After my 21 days fasting condition, and every day I did crazy bows as well. And my brother, who was not talking to me or my family, started to talk to me and my family. And he started to listen to what my children would say, and he would talk to my wife. He doesn't talk to me. Now he does, but at the time he didn't talk to me. But my wife was influencing him very positively. So I thought, yes, I got great results. And so Jongsong is something that I really seen. but barren conditions, praying conditions. There's so many conditions that we can do, but it's so important for us to not just make it a condition for 21 days and then leave it. Uh, and so this is something that I've learned. And so I'm really grateful for the Spirituality 40 Days. Now I'm trying to connect it to and promote my workshops. I'm coming from Cheonshimwon, USA too, so you have to give me a break. This year, January 28th, for the New Year's, the what is it? The Heavenly Calendar New Year's. True Mother was in IPEC Las Vegas, and she invited the Cheonshimwon staff to celebrate the New Year's. Of course, because Korea is 16 hours ahead, we did it on the 28th, but it was supposed to be on the 20th. Anyways, and so we did it a little bit earlier than what it's supposed to be. So it was on the 28th, and Mother there was asking and telling me that I have to work more and that I have to connect the younger generations, the blessed children of America. I hope she said Korea, but she said America to the Cheonshimwon. And honestly, I didn't know what to do because the Cheonshimwon, what is the Cheonshimwon? What does it represent? It is a prayer hall. It's a place of offering devotion, but it's also a place of offering Jeongsong. And Jeongsong, I thought, well, I know Jeongsong, right? And my elders know Jeongsong. And the younger brothers and sisters also, everybody knows what Jeongsong is. Everybody experienced Jeongsong. But really offering Jeongsong with the intent of is so important. And so right now, especially in America, I find there's a lot of difficult situations going on where America is separated by different movements. Too many children of true parents are not in the church, but they have influenced members and created different groups. And that really discourages our youth, right? Seeing all these things. I've heard at Love and Life Ministry, all that kind of stuff. And for me, I was fortunate enough not to be in America, so I didn't really do anything to me. But hearing what the blessed children went through, I kind of feel sorry for what they had to witness. But at the end of the day, what I've learned was my faith does not lie with the true children. My faith lies with true parents. And I think this is something that, But of course, the blessed children has a different kind of viewpoint. I also understand that viewpoint too. But my elders have told me always that your faith is not the person that you see, but it's always our Heavenly Parent and true parents. So I do pray for the blessed children here in this country, that they can really come back to understand that even the children of true parents now, the reason why I don't say true children is because they haven't fulfilled the responsibility to be the true children. I understand it is our blessed family's responsibility. Because we failed, they have gone through and endured so much hardship, and they have gone through what they've gone through. So there's no disrespect there. I want to clear that out. I don't have any disrespect, but they are not the true children, as True Mother had said. They need to accept her as the only begotten daughter. But I really pray for the blessed children in this country, especially my age, blessed children who are going through so much difficult, have seen too many difficult things. But I wanted to say is that we need to offer Jeongsong to really find the truth. The truth, of course, lies with true parents, but it also lies within ourselves. And I really believe that Jeongsong, because no great leader in our movement is going to tell us the right thing. There's no going to be anybody in our movement is going to tell us this is the right thing, and we're never going to be satisfied with it. But what I really discovered was when I offered Jongsung, when I offered devotion, when I lived that lifestyle, then naturally the spirit world, through Father now, and the spirit world and Heavenly Parent will show me the path, and I'll naturally follow that path. So to those who are here today, the blessed children who are here, I thank you for being here. But I want you to offer Jongsung so that you can know the taste of Jongsung, but also share it with your brothers and sisters that you know are finding a reason to come back, right? This is what I find, but it's Jongsung. And the elders here, I cannot emphasize this enough. Your Jongsung is truly needed right now. Of course, for our true mother right now in Korea, going through so much difficult situations, for our movement right now, as we have failed so many years until this moment, we have so many things that we have to do within this short time of period. So there's a lot of Jongsung that we need to offer. But also offer Jongsung so when our younger community, when they come back to the church, when they come back here, that they can actually have an experience. They cannot really feel anything if they come back to a church that is empty. Not empty with people, but empty with Jongsung. So Jongsung is going to really guide that. Now, 40-day workshop for those younger generations who are doubting true Father, doubting true Mother, who are not really sure about Heavenly Parent, who are not sure about true parents, then please come to our Cheonsuan Las Vegas for a spiritual 40-day, or if 40 days is too long, then a 7-day workshop that we do. And they're very short. You are going to learn, understand, and feel something very different. Please don't be scared, because Heavenly USA, we are not Family Federation. Technically speaking, we are something a little bit different. We're like a cult in the cults kind of thing, you know? In a sense, it's a big leap of faith to come to Cheonpyeong, do Chanyang sessions, right? But it's all good. It's all good. I've seen so many people change their life as they continue this lifestyle. Time is all up for me. What I really wanted to say is that Jongsung is not a burden, but it's a blessing. I want you to really live a lifestyle of Jongsung. And for the elders, I know you know what Jongsung is, but you need to show it to your children. Because I learned it from my elders, from Demonim, not just listening, not reading, but seeing. I saw the Jongsung that they offered. It's really hard for me to see my own parents offering Jongsung because they never did physically in front of me. But when I see elders really offering devotion, it really moves my heart. And it really sticks in my heart, my mind as well. And it does positively influence me. So that's why I said yesterday too, in the night visual, it's important to offer this Jongsung. And the blessed children are always skeptical about these new things. We're always seeing, is this going to last? Are they going to continue this, these older people? Is it going to be like every other thing in our movement, a 2-month thing? It's going to be a 3-month thing. And this is what I've always seen in our movement. But this night visual is continuing on for years now. And it will continue on for years. It has to start somewhere. And I'm so grateful that it's coming here in America. And it's possible for you to do it. Then please do so. Show it until they see it. It might take years. It might take just months. Jongsung is going to has changed and really created this foundation today, and it's going to change. It's changed my life. It has changed your life, and it's going to change our children's life too. So I really hope that we can really reflect this week, and I hope maybe this week could be a week for you to offer 정성. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Johnson. Yeah, amazing message. You're also doing Johnson. And now we are going to follow up with a real experience. And this is testimony. I would like to call the three persons. Lisa will be the first giver of the testimony. Sister June and our brother. So I will not call you individually, but please come forward after Lisa, Sister Webb, and Brother Abraham. So it's in connection with the message.
Hello, good morning. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to share just a little bit of my experience during the Chumbo workshop, and then also a little bit like what I realized during this workshop this past weekend. But first, some background, because I think that gives some context. So I just moved like a month and a half ago here, and yeah, there's been a lot of settling down into our new home, and but my priority has been to find a job because I'm so broke right now. But yeah, and so that was my priority, is just to look for a job. And but it's interesting because no matter how many jobs I applied to, like this is part-time, it's not like a full-time job, I'm still in school, but no matter how many jobs I applied to, either they didn't get back to me or I had an interview and then they didn't call me back. But then in my head, I'm like, it shouldn't be this hard to find a part-time job. It's already been a month, right? And so I was like, okay, there's something is going on. And yeah, at some point I felt like, oh, there must be a reason that this is happening. Like, what is Heavenly Parent trying to show me? And then just last week, right before this workshop happened, so David, his acquaintance reached out to him about if I still needed a job, and it just happened to work out well. But long story short, I have a job, yay! And yeah, so, but also I forgot to mention that in all of this 1 month that I've been looking for a job, I said yes to a lot of things in this community because I wanted to serve in some kind of way. And so, yeah, I guess now I'm supporting the music ministry, and I'm BFM coordinator also for Ohio. And I'm trying to find different ways that I can serve. But I realized at some point, if I had gotten a job like a month ago, I wouldn't have said yes to these things because that would be my priority. And so, yeah, last week I realized that Heavenly Parent was really kind of just waiting for my commitment, or waiting for my for me to adjust what my priority is in my life. And yeah, and then also through this workshop, thanks to Ruchi-san, your lectures, I think I became more aware that my ancestors are also, it wasn't just Heavenly Parent guiding me in this 1 month, but also my ancestors were really encouraging me to yeah, support Mother and support true parents. And then for me, like, I think everyone has different ways also, whether it's through your work or through your family supporting. But I think for me, I felt the way that I can support Mother right now is through the different church activities that we do here in the community. And so I really felt like my ancestors were guiding and supporting me to, oh, like, you should do this first. And yeah. It became very clear because I didn't get a job for a month, right? So, yeah. So I think I'm just grateful for that. And I guess one more point about the Ruchi-san talked about the importance of the Chonchimon prayer. That was his last lecture yesterday, and that was my highlight. And I really felt his heart about Chonchimon, but also about True Mother. And yeah, I attended the second spiritual workshop in February. And I feel like that was a time where I really developed and grew a deeper love for Mother, but also learning how to offer, like you said, Jeongsong today. And I think during this workshop, I was reminded of my love for her. And I think everyone has I think everyone has. There's a love for true parents, even though we know, whether we know it or not, I think everyone has a love for true parents. And I think it's just a matter of like developing that and continuing to work on it. And so I think this workshop really reminded me of, oh, like I really do. I do love mother. And even though my life is busy now, like I still should. Yeah, like I want to reprioritize readjust what I'm prioritizing in my life. And that is to attend mother. So yes, that's it. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters, family and friends. And I'm so glad to be united here. My name is June Webb, and I was here at a session, I think in January, the first one we had in January. So it was really rewarding, fulfilling to me to be here once again. The Checheron session was very uplifting for my spirit. I felt a true connection between my spirit, my mind, and my body. This workshop brought harmony within me to accept the liberation of my loved ones. I recently, it'll be 1 year, October the 3rd, that I lost my husband. So I liberated him, and it was just a true blessing. This lesson was a true testament from true parents that what I need to do and continue to be harmonized through prayer. Just as Reverend said, we need to pray, and we must do the Szechuan visuals. The prayers are very important. And what I really took from this was what true Mother Han said, that not only we must do the prayer, but we must create an environment on this earth, a spirit-filled environment that's very important to bring us unified together and have us come together. This was very fulfilling for me this time because I just felt a true connection. I felt at ease like I do now. I feel comfortable in what I've had and what I'm doing. And so this resonated with me very strongly. Also, what I like what Mother Han said is that if you offer sincere prayer and devotion, things will happen and we can fulfill the promises that we need to feel, and our families can be liberated if we do it in spirit and in truth. I wanted to highlight, I took some of the photos that we had yesterday that Mother Han said, and she went and she said if witnessing could happen at an explosive rate, how great this would be. And I think not just for myself, because I'm older, kind of old, but the young people and even the middle age, if we could, all reach out. It's a responsibility for us all to be unified. And I like what was said when she mentioned it was frustrating. It's a frustrating time that is happening. And it's only frustrating because many people are not catching on, or those that have caught on are not doing more, moving forward in the spirituality, in the prayer, and they need to mobilize. And when you mobilize in the spirit realm, spirit world, things can be restored quickly, and prayers can be answered. So I like when she said also, she said, the key is spirit and in truth. We must move forward with the spirit and truth. We must carry this on. I have said we will carry this out through two organizations. The church must be united with Szechuan prayer. This is the way of the spirit and the truth. So I thought that was just a big highlight for me. Getting into the practice, the prayer, just coming together, unified, one spirit, mind, and body. Also, now I noticed when Pastor spoke, he talked about Jongson. Yeah, Jongson. I also noted that in my decks here when he talks about essence, purity, excellence, sincerity, truth, and faith. All of these need to be inculcated together with us to be united, to do what True Mother wants us to do. We all have a part to play. We all have a sense of love in our hearts, to come together to help one another. I don't understand everything, but I'm here to learn as much as I can. But action speaks louder than words. The practices that we do, and I can see the love and kindness here in the spirituality. That's what it's about, the spirit world. So today was been a joyous day for me. This whole workshop has been joyous, and I'm hoping that I will be able to travel more places just here, but mainly where I am now, do the work that I need to do and what Mother Han and the organization has done. I thank everyone so much for the kindness. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. So anyone that's been to Hawaii, this jumped out of my closet this morning, and if you've ever been to Hawaii, you know this is your suit. This is not a Hawaiian shirt. This is a suit. But I'm not going to put it on. So before I get to my assignment, which is a testimony, I just want to be grateful to Heavenly Parent, True Parents, to the staff, incredible staff that came to bless us, and to all of you for being here. So I'm grateful, and you deserve that. So let me put on my glasses. I have a few notes here I scribbled. I woke up this morning, Heavenly Parent said, prepare a testimony. And, okay, so on the way, fortunately I had a 30-minute drive, so I could try to get some thoughts together. And so that's my assignment. So Father said, if you understand the spirit world, you won't do what you do. You'll live a different life. And Mother said, we should live a life with constant miracles. And we had a miracle yesterday, my wife and I. And then on the way here and preparing, God said, well, your whole life is miracles. You just don't recognize it. If you live with God, if you live with true parents, your whole life should be a miracle. Everything that happens. And so there's so many things that I can praise and testify to. But one thing happened yesterday that is my testimony. At the end of all the presentations, then we went to do medical ansu, and then my wife told me, she's the one that should be giving this testimony, but she had to go to work. So, long story short, a couple years ago when we moved here, we had never become, victors? Even though we fulfilled, we thought we did, but we couldn't get the certificate. So I felt, True Mother wants me to do this, wants us to do this, so I should do it. and get the certificate. So, there is certain bureaucracy that Ryuichi talked about yesterday. And so it wasn't an easy task. And with the help of of our pastor and with the Nishios, are they here? Okay. With the Nishio's help, they held my wife's hand and said, no, you can do this, you can do this. Oh, no, I can't. Yes, you can do this, you can do this. So we got, we pulled scraps out of closets of, people that we blessed over the years. And, we came up like 30 short or something. And then, but we've also found out from them that you can inherit from your spiritual children. And, most of our spiritual children are not around or in the spirit world or, we couldn't think of anyone that fulfilled that. And then, seemingly out of the blue, yesterday, Friedrich, she didn't talk to this sister, she called Friedrich and said, oh, so it's from Germany. And she explained that Friedrich's spiritual son has been, he got MS 25 years ago, multiple sclerosis. And eventually he had to be institutionalized. He couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, and he had to be taken care of 24/7 by a staff, and he was there for 25 years. During that time, the staff would always say, how can we help you? What can we do? What can we do? He would get them to read Handoke, and then educate them, and then bless them. So he was a victor because of that. We had no idea. I mean, we had visited him from time to time when we went to Germany. But in this case, we didn't know that he had become a victor. And so she called up yesterday at the end of the session, and, Friedrich hadn't reached out to her, and we didn't even know this. She said, oh, by the way, Bogdan was a victor before he went to the spirit world. And it's interesting because he joined in Germany, and he lived in Germany, but he was Ukrainian. And, he felt a special mission to take care of the Ukraine. And so that's what he was also trying to do. But in the meantime, he was able to bless all these people and fulfill that responsibility. So then, now we can inherit that. And, we weren't sure this was going to ever happen. But it happened. Praise God.